So here I have my SWOOD frame, and we can add a couple reference planes inside of this SWOOD frame that will drive your drawer box positioning. So there's a couple different ways you can add that in. So we could go to Assembly tab, click Reference Geometry, click Plane, select the plane that you want this off of, and I'll add 2 of them. And we could do this maybe every 10 inches. And this is just a good place to start. We can adjust this positioning later. So I go ahead and I have these 2 planes, so I'll rename them. So I'll call this bottom drawer. I'll rename this guy upper drawer, just like so. And what you could do, you come over to your SWOODBOX library. I have a drawer configuration, the Movento, so I can go ahead and right click on that and select Insert SWOODBOX. Come over and drop in my first one, but now I just need to select the mates that it's constrained to, my assembly is constrained to. So I'm going to select this upper portion, and I'll select this guy, and then for my bottom one I'm going to select this one. And so that's my first drawer configuration put into place. So I'll go ahead and I'll add a second one, and you can do that, this little plus button over here. This allows you to insert a second drawer configuration, or just SWOODBOX configuration. So I'm going to go ahead and click there, and I can click upper again, so that one's fine. And then for the lower, I'll select this one. It's going to come out a little wonky, but we can adjust it inside the SWOODBOX configuration. So I'll go ahead and hit OK. So you can see I have 2 drawer box configurations here, and you can see like basically my drawers are running from the bottom of my plane to the top of my plane, and same for that upper one. So what you could do, you come in and edit, and for this drawer configuration there should be auto height, so I could change this height, and instead of it being like 253, I can make this like 150 or something, maybe something like that. And then I could do the same for the top. I can adjust that auto height, make this 200. And then if you want to adjust the positioning, you could just adjust this plane here. So let's say for my bottom drawer, I actually just want this at the bottom. I can go ahead and change this value to coincident, or I could change it to like 1 inch, and when I do that, that drawer will move. And then same deal with this guy, my upper drawer, I could change that value. And probably what I recommend doing, instead of making this coincident, I would still make this a distance 0.201. Start with that for now. And you can define, you can add a variable to control these into here. So you could just select like bottom drawer, come over here, double click the plane and select here, and it's basically making a link from your custom properties to your plane dimension. I still want this window open. I could do the same here, so double click that, say upper drawer, click that. So now I can, instead of having to click on this, open it up and edit feature, I can just adjust that in my edit frame tab. So I'm just looking for upper drawer and lower drawer. or bottom drawer. So that one I have here. So I could be like, if I wanted this to be 10 inches up, that plane will move. And then for the upper drawer, let's say I wanted to make this 30. I can move it just like so. So yeah, that's how I would add in a couple drawers. For this drawer configuration, I don't have a front on there. I'm not entirely sure what your drawer configuration is like, but my guess is that it probably won't have a front. So yeah, there's other different types of like drawer configurations that you can play with. And actually, I just grabbed these SWOOD boxes from the SWOOD library installer. So you could find that under Tools, SWOOD Design, and it's under one of these. Yeah, library installer right here. I won't click on it now because it takes a second to open up, but there's a bunch of pre-made like SWOOD tools that you can directly install into your SWOOD library. So I definitely recommend, like, as a starting point, this is a great place to look. I will say that some of the features that they have is pretty heavy. Like sometimes it has more information or like more, you know, 3D features than you actually need. And when you go to create like a full room of cabinets, let's say, having every single feature in there does make it heavy. So my recommendation is starting off in that SWOOD library or the SWOOD feature library that you saw over here under Connect or the library installer, and then just kind of taking the information that you need, and maybe even you can come in and edit like the specific drawer and be like, hey, I don't actually need these adjustment clips on the bottom, or I don't need all of these features. Really all I need is the runner on the side and then just the machining data. So maybe like you could keep this and delete everything else just to keep your assembly a bit lighter weight, because as you can see, like there is a ton of stuff that is involved in those in that assembly. So yeah, just food for thought. But yeah, hopefully that helps. This is how I would recommend adding in multiple drawers in one SWOOD frame configuration. And once you have this dialed in, what you can even do is, let's say you have a cabinet that has 3 drawers and you're like, okay, I'm going to be using a lot of these. You can just save your whole assembly back into the SWOOD frame library. So let's say like I created this assembly and I wanted to save it back in. You can actually just click from up here, I believe, and drag it into your library, and it'll ask you to rename it once you drop it in here. So you can immediately come in, rename, and maybe it could be like FF drawer -2, just like so. So now when you go ahead, like this is still called FF drawer, but if I come in, edit this, I now have my FF drawer 2, which this is being a little funny. Okay, there we go. And yeah, it goes ahead and creates a copy of that. So then down the line, like you create a drawer that has 2 or 3 drawer, or you create a SWOOD frame that has 2 or 3 drawer configurations, you could save it quickly to your frame library, and then you could reuse that that whole SWOOD frame for a future instance. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any questions, but yeah, good luck making some features.